Now, I'm super passionate about this video because some of these things in here are directly what helped me fund my first business, the second one, the portfolio of companies I own now, as well as all the real estate. It was some of these things that directly gave me the money to do it. So we're gonna go through the 5 best businesses that you can start in 2022 to take advantage of this unique setup. There's absolutely no denying that with everything that's going on, social media going crazy, there is so much opportunity right now. I've seen it firsthand and been involved. There's so much opportunity to make money. So all you got to do in this video is make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, because that is going to get you access into our giveaway. We're doing 2 separate giveaways in this video. One person is going to get free access into our $500 e-commerce program, and the other person is going to get an entirely custom built Shopify store for free by my personal development team. Again, all you got to do is like, subscribe, and comment, and we're going to be picking one person who comments in the first hour and another person a couple days later. So make sure to do that. Let's go through these 5 best businesses. Number 1, e-commerce. Now, I'm not talking about the normal drop shipping or the standard stuff that usually e-commerce always makes my yearly list for the best things because it's something I've been involved in for 6 years, but this is a very unique setup for it. Organic TikTok. For the person who's starting who either has no money or doesn't want to risk their money, this is probably the only 12-month window in your life that I can ever foresee, unless some new social media comes out that's crazy, where you can do this, okay? This is the organic TikTok strategy, the biggest opportunity I see, and I truly wish it was available to me when I was starting, okay? The budget you're gonna need for this, maybe $1,000 tops, just paying for your monthly store, 30, 40 bucks, a couple apps, some basic things, just to give you a little bit of runway, okay? Give or take $1,000 bucks. This is the window of time that will close, okay? Now, what this is you're gonna use TikTok, and what's known as organic TikTok is where you're not actually spending money on ads. You're making videos on a TikTok page about your product, and you'd be very surprised. A lot of what we do with our advertising is standard TikToks. It's stuff that you would want to see on TikTok. So if you actually go through the strategy of posting on TikTok, using trending sounds, viral hashtags, you can start getting views. And depending on how cool your product is and how eye-catching it can be, you'd be very, very surprised at how fast you can have videos get 100,000 views, 1 million views, 800,000 views, 6 million views over here. And while it's not the highest quality traffic, if I'm being honest, it will translate into sales, and it really shouldn't be that hard to get a couple $100s a day coming in through that, which then, and this is the second piece, can then fund your advertising so that you can scale. You can run something called Spark Posts. It's a Spark ad inside of TikTok where you are running ads. You're directly sending traffic to a post that is on your page. That's going to build more likes, more comments, more engagement on it, get you more sales, get you more followers, eventually you get the page verified. That is the way to do it. TikTok is the only platform right now where you can go from 0 to having explosive growth in a matter of weeks. And you're actually going to see multiple things on this list will involve TikTok because it's a window of time that will close, and everybody needs to be taking advantage of it. And just for context, I don't really do this much. I have somebody whose job it is to post on the social medias and work on TikTok a little bit, but it's really just not worth my time anymore for an extra $200 a day or $500 a day. And so we just use the paid advertising side of it to scale. We do blow up the social media pages, but there's more we can do on the back end. So that is just a great starting strategy. If you want some more information on e-commerce, you can definitely check out our course linked below. Disclaimer, I have to give you a disclaimer here. This part is going to be maybe potentially PG-13. However, I do think it's a great opportunity. It's something we might all laugh at, but just hear me out over the next 2 minutes, okay? Number 2 is OnlyFans. Now, I don't mean you jumping in front of the camera doing an OnlyFans or anything crazy. Hear me out. This is the behind the scenes strategy. I would be lying to you very aggressively if I said I have not considered doing this. At one point, I had an entire business plan written up. I had brought on a partner. I had set aside a budget. We were about to hire multiple people to test this out, okay? This is where it's very unique, but the few people I know that do this are making anywhere from $500,000 to $6 million a year net. I'm going to rephrase that. They're making millions of dollars a year net, and they're not even the ones in the OnlyFans. Let me point this out to you. This is how you do this, okay? And this involves TikTok as well. This is going to cost you anywhere from $0 to $50,000 or more, depending on how you want to structure it, okay? This is where you find somebody who, and there's 4 types of people in my opinion. This is what I found out with my business framework for this. There's people who are doing OnlyFans and they make a lot of money. There's people who are doing OnlyFans and don't make a lot of money. That's the worst situation to be in. You're putting yourself out there, you're not making any money. There's people who have a big following on social media and don't do OnlyFans. And then there's people who don't have a following and don't do OnlyFans who might be willing to do it. So ideally out of those, you would find somebody who already has a big following on social media, and would maybe consider doing OnlyFans, but has previously thought, oh, I don't want to get nude on camera and do all this crazy stuff. Let me give you some numbers, just real raw statistics. I know 3 close personal friends of mine, females, that are making a lot of money on OnlyFans. Only one of them does not like go full nude, doesn't show anything, like it's Instagram type content. She makes $80,000 a month. $1 million a year. 12 months ago, completely broke. Like literally, like we'd just be picking up her tab whenever we're going out. And she's a really great person, shows nothing. It's not within her faith, not within her beliefs. It's just basic Instagram content. But what she did is she went and got 1 million followers on TikTok in about 6 months. That translated to 100,000 on Instagram. Launched the OnlyFans. And through the whole back end of OnlyFans, you have upsells and whatnot. And then guess what she did? She turned around and went and signed to an agency that is going to help her scale. I don't know how well that's been going so far, but here's the strategy. If you know people that have a large social media following or girls that might be willing to do it, and guys, I guess as well, it can work, but primarily girls, I mean, let's just be objective here, and you can blow them up on social media. In my opinion, there is a 0% chance that a half decent looking girl, just physical attraction, unbiased here, doesn't go viral on TikTok if you're posting 3 times a day, every day for 3 months. It's impossible. Use viral sounds, trending hashtags, and just dance or do controversial stuff or little things. It doesn't have to be anything aggressive at all. Your OnlyFans does not have to be anything more than your Instagram content, but by building a following, you're building a fan base that inherently wants to follow you. And if you move that to a paid platform, it can work extremely well, and then you have upsells in the back end. So don't judge me for it. This is just an opportunity that I see in the marketplace. I am in no way taking part in it currently, but I truly believe that it is a fantastic opportunity that, again, probably the window will close. So you could go big influencer marketing, the way some of these big agencies, they're called OnlyFans agencies, or some of them that do $20 million a year. What they do, they'll go buy big shout outs from influencer pages that post, cute girls, or they'll buy big influencer pages and they'll completely rip out the content, delete everything, change the name, and make that the page for the girl. And yes, that will completely kill the engagement because that's not what the followers were for, but it's still huge social proof. Usually it's a verified page, and that investment up front can make a lot of sense. So they take a huge profit cut on the back end. That's a great strategy. Let's move on to the next one. Laugh in the comments if you will, but hey, I honestly see that as a huge opportunity. There's so much money there for sure. Number 3, launching an NFT. This is not something I've done. I have multiple friends that I've directly been sitting next to them as they launch an NFT. The biggest one did $7.2 million in the first day, most of them anywhere from $300,000 to $1 million. Okay, I'm just going to give you that outline of my experience. Number 1, utility is key. Most projects are complete garbage. Good art alone is not enough anymore. But if you have a unique idea and you're good at marketing, again, key phrase here, this can be a huge opportunity. The key here with NFTs that I've seen is building a massive Discord. Fastest way to do that, surprise, surprise, TikTok ads in my opinion. Either advertising on there or organic strategies. You can also do a bunch of different marketing tactics. There's so many things you can do, plus influencer shoutouts, where if you have a budget of probably $15,000 to $20,000 is minimum what it's going to cost to launch an NFT. And again, this is not something that I've done, I've considered it, but I don't have any crazy ideas. You got to have something cool. Again, art alone now is not enough. So many projects are just going to zero. But if you can have something cool and you build a community behind it and something that can stand long term, you can absolutely crush it. Not only on launch day, but then the prices are going up. People are constantly trading the NFTs and you're getting a royalty from that. Usually there's a kickback that goes back into the group and sort of like giveaways, or people give away cars, people give away cash, give away Ethereum, whatever it is. I'm not the most well versed in the NFT and crypto community, but there's a lot of ways to make money there. And there's no arguing that it's so talked about. Why do you think you've seen about half the people in the e-commerce industry over the last 12 months no longer make e-commerce videos? Now they make NFT videos. And maybe some of them even came out with an NFT course. I don't know. I don't watch them. But it's really interesting. They just jump from thing to thing to thing because that's what will get them more views. You notice right now, just naturally from the way people are gravitating and the amount of views, the NFT space gets way more views. That will eventually die out in my opinion. It's still a window of opportunity, but people gravitate there because of the ad revenue, the course sales, the whatever, because there's just more opportunity. And they probably weren't even doing e-commerce to begin with, if I'm being honest. But that is a strategy that you can use. Go towards what is working, figure it out, dive in, and you can make a ton of money very quickly. It is possible. It's not my forte, but hey, you never know. There's a lot of technical skills to learn here. And again, a short window of opportunity, in my opinion, to really get something off the ground. Number 4, drop servicing. Again, this has been on my list for quite some time, and multiple people have reached out and told me they used it to make a few thousand a month. I haven't heard any crazy case study yet of $10,000 a month. Now, I do want to point this out. I do know somebody who did this similar strategy where they were white labeling a lot of agency work for brick and mortar businesses, and they were doing about $25,000 a month with about 50% net margin. Their clients thought that they were the ones doing the work, but in reality, they were outsourcing it to an agency for roughly 50%. So usually they could actually get that other agency onto a group call, like a three-way call, when they're closing the client. They already have a lot of knowledge about the industry. That's how you're selling and pitching these clients. But there's a lot of ways to build businesses where you're not actually fulfilling the work. You're just the front-end facilitator, middleman, affiliate, whatever you want to call it. And drop servicing is a little bit different. Very low startup cost, literally can be $0. Okay, $0 for startup cost if you want. This is where you're going to go on sites like freelancer.com, Upwork. These are your best bets for starting out. Integrate some TikTok posts somehow. Ooh, surprise, surprise, Hayden talking about TikTok. But here's what you do. You're going to be posting different job listings and start them low, price them low. You need some reviews first, and you're going to have somebody else fulfill it, which means you can now do any task in the world. I can build you a WordPress site. I can custom code this. I'll build you a Shopify store. I'll edit your video. I'll do XYZ. I'll make you a logo. Probably not a logo because, those are very low price services, but you do any of these unique services that you can sell for $150, and if somebody else do it online for $75, you're just middlemaning an online transaction, and it costs you no money to do that. Now, it's going to start very slow. You build a portfolio on all these sites for all these different skills. It's definitely something you should look into, and then you can do it at a larger scale on an agency level. So that's something where if you're actually signing clients for $1,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000, I see people doing $20,000 a month, literally, for marketing. A lot of that is performance-based, but they can do extremely well and not actually be doing the work. There's a lot of ways to do it. For an example, if you know an e-commerce business owner that's doing $500,000 a month and can't get to $1 million, bring it to me. I'll get them to $1 million and I'll give you a cut. There you go. That right there is a prime example of middleman stuff where you're providing a service and a value to every single person involved, and you get cut into the deal. This is just a more direct way of doing that. It's called drop servicing. Number 5 is very interesting. I noticed this in Puerto Rico about 1.5 years ago when I first moved to Puerto Rico, almost 2 years ago, when I was looking for a place to rent. Certain real estate markets, it's a little harder in the US. I don't know about other countries, but there's just undefined rental prices. There's not a lot of comparable comps, which means you can do what I like to call rental spread. Honestly, if I had the time and cared about the money I could possibly make, you could probably pretty easily make an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month doing this, which basically it takes a little bit more knowledge, some potential risk, and you got to qualify for this, but very consistent. So if you have like 20 grand, let's just say, for an example, here's what you do. You're going to be offering long-term furnished properties. That is my idea for it. Possibly just rental arbitrage where you just leave it unfurnished in volatile markets with no real comparison for rent. For an example, Puerto Rico. Let me give you a prime example. So many apartments in Puerto Rico will rent for $3,100, and then another unit in the building that's worse will go for $3,900, something that's listed for $3,600, and then something that's listed for $2,400. There's no comparable. In the US, in most states, it's always within a $100 range. People know what's going on. In Puerto Rico, for some reason, I think it's because of the tax program, all the people down here, just inconsistent pricing near the beach and in the main cities. Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like it where it is all over the place and nothing gets marketed properly. Not like 10% of listings actually go online. Everything's what's called a pocket listing or an off-market listing. So if you actually took photos, marketed it, put it online, built a group, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of highly qualified, specifically tax people moving here to places like Panama, places like Dubai, all these different places, basically just target tax havens. That could be your niche. You go there, you rent an apartment, you got to be able to qualify for it and allow them to sublease. Okay, so this is where your lease needs to allow you to sublease. You're then getting somebody else to sign a lease. It's not some month-to-month crap. You're getting a full lease if you really need to furnish the place. Because I'll tell you, the amount of apartments in Puerto Rico that if you just signed 10 leases for around $2,500 a month each, they were already furnished. You went and took good photos, marketed them correctly. I guarantee you, within 2 months, probably a month, maybe even a week. It's so crazy out here. You could fill up all 10 of those for $3,500 a month. Now you have 10 where you're making a $1,000 spread, and you collected a deposit from the new people, which paid you back from your original deposit. So interesting loop, food for thought, interesting idea, very consistent, next to no work. If you are allowed to sublease, I think that's a great way to do it in places where there's just not a defined real estate market and there's a demand for it. The pricing's all over the place, and especially in Puerto Rico as well as in Dubai, I have multiple friends who live there for tax purposes as well. Nobody responds to your listing. Your phone calls don't get answered. Your emails don't get answered. The photos never show everything. And again, most stuff doesn't get listed. So I think you could have a huge opportunity by doing that and targeting locations as such. Probably something most people are not going to be able to do, but for some people it could make a ton of sense. So hope you enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to enter into the giveaway. All you got to do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. One person person in the first hour will get chosen, and a couple days later we'll pick somebody else. Great way to enter. We announce the winners over on my Instagram, so make sure to follow me there. If you have any questions about what we talked about, don't get too hung up on point number 2 here. I know it might have been kind of funny with the OnlyFans stuff, but I think that it really is an interesting strategy. I know nobody ever really seems to talk about that, but truly from a TikTok perspective, just look at what's logical. You know, it's like you can do so much in terms of getting stuff to go viral on TikTok. For me, I posted a video of me literally kicking my friend out of an airplane, 4 million views. That was like one of my first videos. Absolutely crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you can't get that on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. So same thing. Then I started doing that with products, e-commerce products. I would test it. Things would get views. That would never happen on other platforms. So use it while that window of opportunity is there. I think there's a lot of money to be made for sure. So if you're looking to start an online business in 2022, these are 5 great ideas and resources that you can use to get your feet wet and get started making some money. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to drop a like and enter the giveaway. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.